You don't need to be a car enthusiast to recognize the name Nissan Skyline R34. It's more than just a car. It's a legend, a symbol, a cultural icon that transcends borders and generations. Even in 2025, with faster, newer, and more advanced cars on the market, the R34 Skyline GTR continues to reign as the undisputed king of JDM. But why? What makes a car released in the late 90s still command so much respect, admiration, and price tags that rival supercars? Let's dive into the real reasons the R34 Skyline still wears the crown, and why no JDM rival has ever quite dethroned it. 1. Engineering that was ahead of its time. When Nissan introduced the R34 GTR in 1999, it wasn't just competing, it was dominating. Under the hood sat the legendary RB260 ET, a twin turbocharged inline 6 that officially produced 276 horsepower. But let's be real, Nissan understated those numbers to comply with Japan's gentleman's agreement. In reality, most R34s were pushing over 320 HP stock, and with basic mods that number skyrocketed. But it wasn't just raw power. The R34 featured ATESA ETS Pro, a sophisticated all-wheel drive system that used real-time torque vectoring. Pair that with super high KIAS, rear wheel steering that helped it pivot with uncanny precision, and you had a car that could handle like no other in its class. It was surgical, composed, and terrifyingly effective on both street and track. Even by today's standards, the technology packed into the R34 feels modern too. The RB26 engine, JDM royalty. Let's not sugarcoat it. The RB260 ET is one of the most worshipped engines ever built, capable of handling insane power with stock internals. It's the heart and soul of the R34. Tuners all over the world praise it for its durability, high revving character, and the endless tuning potential. You want 500 HP easy, you want 1000 HP double, want to be that guy with a 200 HP drag, spec R34, the engine is a game. That flexibility made the R34 not just a great car off the factory floor, but the ultimate platform for anyone serious about tuning, and the sound of a fully spooled RB26. Goosebumps. Every single. 3. A design that has aged like fine wine, unlike some cars that scream. Early 2000s. The R34's design has aged with grace. It's muscular without being overdone, aggressive without being cartoonish. From the iconic quad taillights to the wide stance and boxy lines, the R34 doesn't try too hard. It just is. The car looks fast standing still, but it doesn't shout for attention. That's part of what makes it timeless. Even more impressive, people who don't even know cars recognize it instantly, thanks in no small part to its role in gaming and film. 4. Pop culture immortality. Let's be honest, the R34's legend exploded globally because of The Fast and the Furious franchise. Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, driving that silver and blue R34 in Too Fast, Too Furious elevated the car to mythic status. For an entire generation, that movie was their first glimpse at JDM culture, and right in the center of it all was the R34, chasing down Ferraris and tearing up Miami's streets. Then there's gaming. If you ever played Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, or Forza, the R34 was always a top-tier pick. The combination of real, world performance and digital legend status created a psychological bond. You didn't just want the car, you needed it. That emotional connection makes the R34 more than a car. It's a fantasy fulfilled for many enthusiasts. 5. Legal drama desire. Here's the thing about the US market, the R34 Skyline GTR was never sold stateside. That made it instantly more desirable. For years, import laws kept it out of American hands, unless you were willing to pay insane prices or go through shady channels. Now that it's eligible under the 25-year import rule, the R34 has finally started arriving legally in US garages, and demand is off the charts. Prices have exploded. What used to be a 30,000 car in Japan is now reaching 2,000k EPOS in America, depending on condition and trim. Scarcity has only made the R34 more legendary, more desired, and more revered. 6. The perfect blend of tech and analog. We live in an era of touchscreens, lane assist, and cars that practically drive themselves. But the R34 came from a golden age, where cars had real feedback, but were also also beginning to embrace performance tech. The multi-function display, a MFDA mounted in the center of the R34's dash, was years ahead of its time. It showed turbo boost, oil temps, throttle response, vital info you could monitor in real time. Today, it's celebrated as one of the coolest JDM cockpit features ever, and unlike many modern cars, the R34 didn't isolate the driver. You felt connected. The steering had weight. The gearbox was mechanical and satisfying. The boost surge was addictive. It struck the rare balance between digital precision and analog soul. 7. Tuner culture, the backbone of R34's legacy, another reason the R34 holds the crown. The tuner community. No car has been pushed, experimented on, and elevated more by JDM tuners than the Skyline. Shops like mine's top secret HKS and Trust turned the R34 into a canvas. Whether it was endurance racing, time attack, or underground highway runs on the wagon, the R34 was the go-to weapon. Some of the most iconic builds ever, like the Mine's R34 GTR, weren't show queens. They were pure performance machines, capable of humiliating Ferraris and Porsches on track while remaining street legal. That's a level of respect you can't manufacture. It has to be earned, and the R34 earned every bit of it. 8. Collector status, the investment king. Look around the collector car market, and you'll see something insane. R34 prices have doubled, even tripled in recent years. V-spec models, especially NER editions, are going for Lamborghini money, and they're still rising. But this isn't just hype. It's supply and demand. Clean examples are rare. Modded ones are often beaten to death or poorly restored. That makes bone stock, well-maintained R34's gold in the car world. Unlike most cars that depreciate, the R34 appreciates. And because of its cult following and limited availability, it's likely to remain one of the most valuable JDM cars ever made. 9. A car built by passion, not committees. One thing that makes the R34 stand out even among JDM giants is that it was engineered by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. The GTR wasn't made to fit a niche, it created one. Nissan's engineers treated it like a race car that just happened to be street legal. They obsessed over every detail: downforce, torque split, weight distribution, rigidity. The result was a car that feels intentional, from the exhaust note to the AWD system engaging mid-corner. Today, so many cars are built by corporate committees with cost saving in mind. The R34 GTR feels like it was built with one goal: performance without compromise. 10. There's still nothing like it. Even in a world of electric torque monsters and hypercars with 1,000 horsepower, the R34 offers something that no modern car can replicate: soul. It has quirks, drama, lag, vibration, smell, emotion. It's not about numbers. It's about experience. You feel everything. Every gear change is mechanical. Every boost spool is earned. Every glance in the rear view reminds you that you're driving not just a car, but an icon. And that's why no matter how advanced the competition gets, the R34 remains the king. Because in the world of JDM, it's not just about speed, it's about legacy. In the hierarchy of Japanese performance legends, the Supras, the RX-7s, the Evos, the NSX, there's only one that has consistently sat at the throne: the R34 Skyline GTR. It wasn't the first JDM superstar, and it won't be the last, but it's the only one that mastered every category: power, tuning, handling, legacy, and soul. It wasn't just fast, it was flawless. If you agree the R34 is still the king of JDM, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. Would you take the R34 over a new GTR, or even a modern day supercar? And if you want more in-depth JDM content like this, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell, because some legends never die, they just keep pulling harder.